Right then, as promised, what we're now going to do is we're going to create like a scoring system. So what happens if this ball manages to reach this grey area, then the score on this side should go up by 1. And if this ball manages to reach this grey area, then the score on this side needs to go up by 1. Now, how are we going to do this? We need to create two variables, a score for player 1 and a score for player 2. Now, I've already selected here variable. You can quite clearly see that I've done that. There's my commands variable. I'm going to make a couple of variables. So I'm going to make variable here. I'm going to call this, can't spell, can't spell again, player 1 score. Call it player 1 score. Now it don't matter if it says for all sprites for the sprite only. That's fine. We'll just press OK. And I'm going to make another variable, which funnily enough I will call player 2 score. And I'm going to press OK. Now we want to say on the ball, if this ball touches this colour, then increase the player 2 score by 1. If the ball touches this colour, then increase player 1 score by 1. Now let's do that now. So it's on the ball, we stay on the ball, and we go to control. And the statement that we're saying is if this particular ball under sensing is touching colour, and we're going to come and select this one, then we would under variables change, so if it's touching this colour, player 2 will have scored. And vice versa, if it's touching colour, and we're clicking I'm going to click on this grey. No, I do apologise. Well done for shouting out, you fool! This grey over here. If it's touching that grey, then we want to change player 1 score by 1. Now I've made a bit of a mistake there, because that should be underneath there like that. There we go. Now of course this won't work unless it's within this forever command. So I'm just going to drag these two and we'll pop them. I've been fiddling around earlier on with stuff. Let's get this all back into the order that it should have been in. I made a couple of mistakes. That was where it was. And I'm going to put that just there. Right, I hope that made sense. I'd made a mistake earlier on and I'd put that bit back in the wrong place. But it's alright now. So, I can play my game. Right, I need to get quick on the keyboard here. Oh, there we go. And he's scored, and yes, and he's going to return that, and yeah, he's going to do that. And can you see how this is really boring? Now, this is really boring because, to stop it for a moment, I need to introduce an element of randomness into how it comes off the bat. But for the moment, I'm going to show you the scoring system, and I'll drop that like that, and I'm deliberately going to miss. Ah, wow. Now, let those scores go on like that. That's fantastic. Look at that. See how the scores are going up here? He's come across there, and see, it's 3 points now. He's going to come across here, and he's up to 3 points. And this fellow's going to cheat now. He wants all those points. Oh, that was weird how that went off that like that. Never mind, that was exciting. And wow, that was kind of funky as well. He's scoring lots of points, up to 6 points. Okay, a couple of things that we've really got to deal with here. Now, let's say we want to start the game again. Look at that. Look at the scores. They're exactly the same. They didn't change. 4 points, the game had clearly started again. I'm thinking every time that we start a game, we should do with setting the scores. So every time we start, we want to set player 1 score to 0, and we want to set player 2 score to 0. So now look, when I press this, look, they're both at 0, and now I'll just cheat and we'll score some points. And yeah, four points? Goodness me. 6 points? And wow, look at that. 8 points. Why is it doing that? We said only go up by 1, but it's going up by 2 at a time this time. Now my gut feeling is that the reason for that is the ball touches that grey a couple of times, so it bounces it up by 2 points. So there's two possible solutions to this. We could say, as soon as it touches a grey, move the ball back to the middle. Or we could say, after it touches the grey, just put a little tiny delay in there. I think I might go with a little delay. So what I'm going to do under control is I'm just going to wait after each one. Just need to put that there, and what we'll do is make it wait. Let's make it wait 0.2 of a second. Actually, no, I can leave it at 1 second. A ball takes more than a second to go from one side to the other side. So now I'm going to wait, and we'll put that just down here. And what we'll do is we will also wait 1 second there. Let's see if that's going to solve the problem. We'll press play. So, see, it's got this thing where it did touch it twice. So that doesn't really work, does it? Watch. Wait. And it did it again, and then it bounces back. So it does confirm the idea that what happened was that we got a wait for a second, that the ball hits twice, I should say. So perhaps that's not the solution. So let's rip those out. What we really want to do is that we could probably do with setting the ball back to 0, 0. In other words, copying this. So every time it touches that colour, put it back to the middle. So I'm thinking we could, under motion, and we could go to 0, 0. And if the other fella scores, that also needs to go to 0 and 0 back in the middle. So this time now, hopefully, because it touches the grey, before it has the chance to add the second point on, it'll jump back to the middle. Let's see if that works. Yeah, 1. You can see how it's going back to the middle each time. It's only going up by that. It's interesting it's going off in the same direction every time. Still thought it should be doing pointing direction. So that would suggest that what we also need to do, okay, is perhaps have this pointing direction, a random number, after that as well. So I'm thinking that I'm going to leave that for a minute and you can deal with that. The one problem, of course, is that realistically we want to wait. For example, here the ball goes off. That's interesting that it's flipped that round the other way. I understand why that's doing that now. But what we really want, of course, is a delay between scoring a point and that there. So I'm thinking what we're now in control is that we want perhaps a wait after each of those, and we'll set a 2-second wait between each point being scored, and we'll have another wait which will pop in down here after someone scores a point there, and we'll have a 2-second wait there. I'm now going to run that. Scores, waits for 2 seconds, and off it goes again. Scores, waits for 2 seconds, and off we go again. That's kind of makes sense. As I was saying, the problem is that the ball is always going in the same direction. Well, the reason for that is, if you think about it logically, this is the point where it does the forever. So it never comes out of this loop. So it can never pick a random direction. That does that to start the game off with, but as soon as somebody scores and you put it back in the middle, you really want to have that point in a random direction again. So what I would really want to do is, under motion, you have point in direction. We could drop that into here, and once again we can go to numbers, and what we can do this time is have a point in direction. Oh, I want to pick that one. That was silly, wasn't it? I want to pick a random point in direction. Just get rid of that one. And once again, we could have. Ooh, let's actually think of. Ooh, he says excitedly. If player 2 were to score, which is this side, perhaps the ball should go to player 1 next time. So we could have a pick a random. So it's going to player 1. That would have to be between 180 plus 45, 225, and 360 minus 45 is 315. Hopefully, we might have to pull this over so we can see that. How can we get to that? I'm trying to make sure that I can move this. Oh, that was a bit crazy. Hold on a moment. What I'm trying to do is create a bit more room so I can see these scripts, which I can't seem to do at this moment in time. Anyway, look, what I'll do is this, so you can definitely see it. And what we'll do is we'll have point in direction, and we'll have our numbers, and we'll have random, and we're saying between. Down here you can see this time 225, and let's move this over a little bit. That will be 315. Oh, 315, and we'll put that one in there. And of course, just so you can see it again, I wonder if I can just copy, duplicate. There we go. Oh, no, I don't want all of that. Let's get rid of that over there. Now we'll just do it the normal way. Motion, point in direction. We'll pop it down here just for the moment, out of the way. And again, we'll put our random number in. And of course, we want 45 to 135 on this one. So 45 there, and 135 there, and of course that's going to need to go down there. Fantastic. So now let's start the game, and we should see. Oh, am I going to make it? Yeah, he makes it. He makes it. He makes it. So this one's going to score. No, he's not. This fella's going to score first. And what happens? He scored, and the other fella receives, and this fella scores, and it should go right this time, and it does. Brilliant. That's fantastic, except this is where it gets a bit dull. I think what we'll do is finish that off. Every time it bounces off the ball, if touching pointing direction 360 minus direction, I think we should introduce a little bit of randomness. So we'll do here, I think we'll have this, numbers, pick random, not pick random, yeah, let's do this. Instead of 360, why don't we have here 360 minus, let's pick a random number, and we've got to put that into, it's got to go into this box here. There's a bit of randomness. Can't see it. Damn. And what I want to do, I have to drag that out for a moment. Let's make that a random between 1 to 10. Let's make it 1 to 20. And we'll pop that in there like so. And once again, perhaps I should have done my minus. There we go. We'll pop that one in there. And we'll have our 360. And we want a random number. Let's just put that down there for a moment. 1 to 20. And we'll pop that into that box. And finally now we should hopefully have a little bit more randomness when the ball pings off the paddles. So let's see. There we go. He's going to go that way, and he's going to go that way, and it doesn't really help because I could have started off with being more horizontal, but yeah, you can see that quite clearly it's not sort of wow, look at that. It's not reflecting exactly as it did. I'm just going to move out the way now, and we have our score. So there you go. See, look, this one's a bit more. I'm trying to wait for a level start. There we go. See how that came off magnificent. Pong. That's pretty much it, really. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it kind of makes sense. And here's some extension tasks for you. What you could do, I've been thinking about this, you could have a 4-player game. You could have like paddle, and then another paddle here, and a paddle here, and a paddle here, and you could have like ice hockey or something like that, where instead of having a big grey line down here, you could have like 2 goals, like so. So 2 goal areas there, and you can have 4 players. You have 4 people playing it. You could do that. That's not difficult. It's exactly the same principles as we've been using here, and I'm quite happy with that. I think you could challenge yourself and go and make yourself a 4-player game, which would be fantastically exciting. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a go.